Hello and welcome to 3D Designer, Giraffe or Dinosaur. Let's get started, shall we? In the center here we have the work plane where we'll be placing objects. On the right hand side we have the shape toolbar, and above we have the tools. So to start, we'll grab one of the shapes, the cylinder, and we'll want two of the box hole shapes. That's the one with the grey and white colouring. To adjust the size of these, you need to click on these little corners. You can click on the corners or the black squares to adjust just one axis. It can often be better just to adjust one axis, as that prevents it going a bit wonky. We'll adjust these to 10 on opposite sides, and then select all by click and dragging, and click the alignment tool. By clicking the bottom circle on the left and the rightmost circle on the bottom, and then grouping them together with the group button, we can create a quarter circle. To get a better look at your 3D object, you can rotate it through the screen using the cube at the top left of your screen. You can also zoom in and out with these buttons on the left hand side. It's also possible to use the right mouse button to click and drag the screen around. So now that we have our quarter circle shape, we'll need to adjust its height to about 4 millimeters, its width to about 35 millimeters, and its length to 25 millimeters. And this will function as the body of our giraffe or dinosaur. So we'll put that to one side and start on the neck. And the neck is simple. It's just a box with the height lowered to 4 millimeters and the width to 4 millimeters. The length is going to be a big 60 millimeters. This is going to be a really tall neck. And once you've adjusted those sizes, just put it next to the body. Our next part is the head. To create this, we're going to select the body, copy, and paste. Then we need to rotate it. So you'll click on this double-headed arrow. There are 3 of them, so be careful which one you select. And rotate it 180 degrees. If you keep your cursor inside the circle that appears, it will rotate in chunks. If you move it outside, it will rotate in small increments. And now to adjust the size, about 15 millimeters wide and the length to 10 millimeters. Pop this onto the neck and you have your head, neck and body. And now we'll start on the legs. We'll grab a box and reduce its width to 6 millimeters and the height to 4 millimeters. Place this below the giraffe, and then we're going to duplicate the leg. And then you can just use your arrow keys to move it across. Duplicate again, move across, and one more, and then move across. There we are. Now the next thing I'm going to do is reduce the height of the back legs. So that one will go down to 3 millimeters, and the other one will go to the same 3 millimeters. This will give it an illusion of depth. And next we'll create an eye for the body of the creature. We'll just pull out a cylinder. And I'm going to group the body together to make sure I don't break it apart. With the cylinder, we'll reduce it to a 3 millimeter diameter. So that's 3 millimeters on each side. And a height of 5 millimeters. Move this across to the head. And there we go. We have our body. Now, for the next part, you can either make a giraffe or a dinosaur. I'm going to duplicate this body and show you the process for both. So we'll make this body yellow for the giraffe and this one green for the dinosaur. So the first step for our giraffe is to create its ears. So we'll start with a box and lower its width to just 2 millimeters its height to 4mm, and the length to 6mm. You may wish to zoom in so you can see easier what you're working with. And a cylinder, and we'll reduce all dimensions to 4mm. You can do this by holding the Shift key when you adjust the size. Then we'll move them together, and whoops, I've reduced the box to too short, so I'll move that up to 4. We'll group these together and make it yellow to match the rest of the giraffe. Let's move this across. Right, there's one. And we can duplicate this to create another. Move it across with the keys again. And just reduce the height for this second one to 3mm. There we are. And now we'll create spots for the giraffe. And so we'll grab the cylinder shape and reduce it down to about 8mm, but any size you want will do. And then change the height to 5mm. Move this across to the giraffe and we'll change it to brown like most giraffe spots are. And we'll copy and paste. And there we go, we have some spots for our giraffe. Arrange these how you like. And if you want to get a bit creative, you can create a spot for the neck. Now you'll need to cut it down to size because otherwise it will be too big. So you can use just a box hole for this. Move it around to about halfway. Group it together. And now you can arrange this on the neck. And you can duplicate this one again. And move it further up the neck. And we can use the mirror tool to rotate it. And there we go, we've got spots on our neck. Just be sure to look at it from multiple angles to see how you want to arrange those spots. And we have our giraffe. Now to keep this all together, let's select the whole thing. And group. Now it's all going to become one color, but you can turn on multicolor to set it to have all those colors. So now for the dinosaur. To start with our dinosaur, we're going to create a tail. To do this, we'll use the polygon tool. And what we're going to do is reduce the number of sides in the inspector here to 3, and that gives us a triangle. And we'll adjust the size. It's not too important what the exact dimensions are, just something you like the look of. We'll rotate this and attach it to the back of the dinosaur and make it green. And now we're going to give our dinosaur some spikes. So we'll grab the polygon tool again and reduce those sides down to 3. We'll reduce the height to 3 and then rotate the triangle around so it's facing upwards. You can change the color to whatever you like, but I quite like the blue, so I'll keep it to that. And we'll adjust the size again. We want it not too big. Nice and spiky, there we go. So we've got one up there, and we're going to use the duplicate tool to create another one. Move it along, duplicate again, and this time we'll rotate it a little. Use that duplicate tool, it rotates for us. We can do it again. And there we go, we got a nice little spiky hairdo. And if we paste in a few, we can go down the neck. Maybe adjust that size. And just keep repeating this until you've got a nice mane of spikes along the back of the dinosaur's head. And then maybe we'll do some along the back as well. And there we go, we can select all of that and group together. Remember to turn on multicolor. And now we have our dinosaur. So we've created a dinosaur and a giraffe, but you can use this basic premise to create any creature you like. Pop them in the comments and let us see what you've made.